Hey guys, so SeaCoast Homes, the 11-time Diamond Award winning builder, has two homes underway on Southwest 22nd Street on Oak Island. This is footage going from Southwest 22nd Street over the Davis Canal in Montgomery Slough over to the ocean. So the ocean is just around the way. You can actually hear the ocean from these houses. But as I was doing my thing over on Southwest 22nd Street, I had an impromptu visit from none other than the owner of SeaCoast Homes. And he was so nice to give me a quick rundown of all the amazing features that SeaCoast loves to put in their home. So let's take a listen to Todd Tanck of SeaCoast Homes.
So on the Sandpiper house, we've got the vaulted ceilings. We've actually got a beam detail that's going in here, and then we've got the spanning beams that you can see over this area here. These are all going to have up lights. They're going to have can lights for general lighting, and then we're going to do things like our pendant lights are going to get mounted, our chandeliers are going to get mounted, and that's all going to be a stain product. So this is going to be really exciting when we get through it with the trim detail. We're going to have a kind of a coffee bar area over here. And this is what we use for the structure on our floating shelves. We actually fasten these into the framing, low voltage, which is actually getting put inside of the shelves. So you're going to have this really nice light that comes up and illuminates whatever you put on your shelves. Plus, this one will have up and down lights so that this is going to act as your under cabinetry. So we build these custom for all the homes that we do, and this is going to be a really nice detail with the floating shelves. As far as some of the standards, we talked about this a little bit downstairs, but if you look everywhere in this house, there's no solid headers. So the nice part is that we use an engineered product for our headers that allows us to insulate. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of the thermal break. So lumber has a terrible R value. So every chance we get, we try and make sure that we put in something that allows us to get a better R value out of the product that we're putting together. So that's kind of standard for what we do. Every house is that way. We have a couple of other features, and these are boring things, I understand. But for instance, in the kitchen, and this is throughout the rest of the house as well, everything that we have for a penetration has some sort of backdraft damper. So the vent that we have for the range hood is actually a spring-loaded backdraft damper to keep the moisture out. So rule number one for coastal environment, get your R value up, make sure that it's something that can breathe, and then do everything that you can to keep the moisture from getting into the house. Standard on our house is going to be a whole house dehumidifier. So anyone who's lived in North Carolina knows in the summertime, you get 98 degrees with 92% humidity and it's ugly out. Well, by putting in the whole house dehumidifier, the air conditioner doesn't have to do the work of getting the humidity out. So it can simply work with its primary function, which is to cool the house. As far as other standard features, for this house we've got toe kick lights, we've got all kinds of specialty lighting. Every home that we're doing now, our standard is to put in what we've got is an AV panel, and basically with this we run wiring through different parts of the house, upstairs, downstairs, and we put in remote access points. So you're not trying to pull a Wi-Fi signal from behind a metal door. You're actually getting points like you'd have in an office building, but they're very discreet, very low profile, and that allows you to get a much, much better Wi-Fi signal because everything is Wi-Fi now. So that's kind of something that we do standard on our homes. This particular home, like I say, has a lot of electrical features, upgrades. The closet, so we extended this house and we've got a huge master closet, and in this master closet we're going to be doing boutique style, which is something that we had in our parade of homes this year. We're very, very proud of that house, and we're going to be doing a lot of that in the future for what we do for our homes. So boutique style shelving for the master, toe kick lights, that kind of stuff as well. One of the things that's really exciting about this house, and I kind of talked to you about this a little bit, Jess, is that we're building another one of these, and we're actually going to have an indoor-outdoor garden tub area, private, that's going to be on the other side of this wall here. So I'm really, really excited about this. I've never seen this before in a house, and this is something that has never been done in this area. But this is going to be a wall of glass, and then another wall of glass behind it that actually goes to a private outdoor large soaking tub And the floor out there is going to be insulated, but it's also going to be all tile with a full drain in the floor. So this is going to be one of those little private oases that allows you to go out and soak in a tub. Even if it's in the middle of winter, you fill it with hot water and you go out and you sit, and it's completely private, but you're going to be able to look up at the stars. And we're going to have a translucent or transparent roof over the top of it. And this is going to be a feature that is just going to knock this house out of the park.
That is so exciting.
Very exciting, very exciting. Everything that we do on our homes, all the windows and doors are all impact glass. That's standard. So once again, being a coastal environment, I want to make sure that these houses are tight and secure. So everything is impact glass, plus it's DP50, which is the design rating for it that meets coastal requirements. And then as far as the insulation goes, if you look up at the roof deck, the attic is only going to be maybe 2 or 3 degrees different than the rest of the house, because the roof deck is completely insulated. So that actually, I always tell the story about, or the logic behind why we do it that way. If you think about it, the best way to keep your house protected and safe from bad guys is never let them in the house. So it's the same philosophy with the heat here, is that if you've been in an attic in North Carolina in the middle of summer, it's 160 degrees. Well, that's because the system is designed to allow air to flow in through the soffit vents and out the ridge vent, which is supposed to draw the hot air out while replacing it with fresh air. Well, we just don't let that happen. So we actually have a makeup air system that cools the attic, and it's only 2 or 3 degrees difference than the rest of the house. So your energy efficiency is crazy good. And I always refer to the roof deck as billowy clouds of love. I know it's really tacky and stupid, but it just looks like you could roll around up in there and it looks like a pile of cotton, but it's actually a phenomenal R value, sound value. And what it also does is that we control the air that comes into the house. So you have a much cleaner air. You don't have all the pollen and the dirt and the dust that flies into a conventional house. If you go up in there, you don't walk up into the attic and see this constant haze of fiberglass insulation. It's not good for your lungs, it's not good for your house. We eliminate that stuff, and we actually have a filtration system that allows all the outside air to be filtered and conditioned before it even enters the house. So it's not only is it energy efficient, but it's also something that's going to give you a better quality of air, cleaner air, and I think in the long run, people will be much more comfortable in their homes. And this is just what we do standard on all of our homes. We put fiberglass insulation in between the walls, and that's from all private areas to common areas, and we do that simply as a courtesy for sound. And that's standard on all of our homes as well.
So you would not typically see this insulation on the interior walls like this?
As far as what I've seen with most builders, it's an option. It's our standard. We just simply decided that we want to build a better home, and some of it's for selfish reasons. We don't want the callbacks. But by providing people with backdraft dampers, a whole house dehumidifier, spray foam, we're limiting so many of the callbacks. So the value is they get an amazing house. For us, we don't get the callbacks, and our clients are happier, and it leads to a much better relationship.
Oh my gosh, you guys, wasn't that fantastic? I mean, how often you get to see the builder walk through one of his homes under construction and explain the details of the home. SeaCoast goes above and beyond. They continue to impress me. They have this home that you saw in this video, the Sandpiper, available on Southwest 22nd Street, along with 2 other homes on Northwest 29th Street, both on Oak Island. Give me a shout. Let's go check these homes out. Hey, that rhymes.
So some of the other features that we've got in this house, there's going to be a partial wall here for the island. So it's not going to have a furniture leg, it's going to have a paneled wall that the countertop is going to sit on. And this is a large, large area. So if you're down here entertaining in the summertime with family and friends, you'll be able to put 5 people up on this bar here, because the countertop is going to extend all the way over to here. So you're going to have a nice ledge, a strong support leg, and then we actually put metal brackets through the rest of it that get screwed to the framing itself. So this is going to be a nice area panelized, and then that paneling is going to follow all the way around this room. And when we start hitting these big walls, like the front wall, the side walls, we're actually going to have a paneling system. So we've got nice decorative squares, like a raised panel look, but that's going to be 3 different panels all the way up to the top of this 16-foot tall ceiling. So this is a really big, expansive ceiling, and it's going to be all panelized. We're going to have a fireplace in here, so it's going to be an electric fireplace, but for where we are in the coastal region, our electric fireplace is actually put out 5,500 BTUs. So you can have heat, you can have light, or you can have both. So the nice thing is, you come out in the morning, like this morning it's a little chilly, hit the remote control, crank the heat up, half hour later, an hour later, you can set it for a timer and it turns off. And now your room is toasted up, because here in North Carolina, you may start off cool, but by 11 o'clock, we're back to decent conditions. The other thing is, in all of our closets, we do all custom built-ins. So I don't do any prefab, we don't do any wire shelving systems whatsoever. Everything we do, we have a bunch of really good carpenters that work for the company, and everything is custom built on site. And the master, we usually tailor that to the client, whether if you're a shoe person or you've got a lot of hanging or you need drawers, and typically we would go ahead and cater to that client's needs, and we do custom built-ins for the master. But typically everything that we've got is going to have some shelving, high-low hanging for pants and slacks, and every chance we get, we try and get a little bit of tall hanging. Down here, you don't have a lot of need for long coats. Maybe up north you do, but down here, everything that we do down here is really about the cooling, not about the heat. So we gear our houses towards that. But yeah, so just in this house has an elevator. Not standard on every house to put the elevator in, but we try and design all of our homes with at least an elevator prep. The goal is that, you know, our clients, a lot of them are at retirement age, but we want to make sure that they can retire comfortably, and that we don't have to do retrofits for things like elevators. We put additional blocking in around showers to make sure that grab bars are easily accessible if the client ends up needing that. But we want people to be able to mature gracefully in their home and not have to put big obstructions and towers on the outside of their house, or make them come up and down the elevator in the rain with a personnel lift, which is very common down here. One of the other things that we've got for our masters, for our master bathrooms, there's a 2x4 right now, and that's just there to hold the water in for inspection. But we do curbless entry on all of our master showers. So we've actually dropped the floor down, and it's going to be a clean, beautiful curbless entry into the master.